this administration is engaging in treason. This is treason.
It's treason, then.
Welcome to Come and Take It. We're living in crazy times, guys. The unprecedented keeps just happening and becoming precedent. And I'm like, boy, it's like drinking from a fire hose these days. I feel like I talk a lot about the border. And sometimes I think maybe I shouldn't talk about the border so much. But I think that it's really important. It cannot be overstated how not just bad it is for Texas, but the far-reaching ramifications of Joe Biden and border czar Kamala Harris's open borders policy has on the entire country.
Story checks out.
And with this issue of the border, it's just been really fascinating watching the left simultaneously seemingly say, there's no border crisis. What are you talking about? We aren't letting in thousands and thousands and thousands of unvetted strangers. We're not letting them just waltz into the interior of the country. That's not true. That's not happening.
It's true.
And at the same time that they're saying that, they're also somehow saying, yeah, of course the border's broken, but border czar Kamala is going to solve it. Duh. She's the woman to fix it. I mean, even though she hasn't done that in nearly 4 years, even though she actually sort of has made it a lot worse. Yeah, everyone knows the border's broken, and we're going to trust Kamala Harris to save us. The mental gymnastics there, I can't get over. And sometimes you have to wonder, do these people actually believe are they so delusional and dopey that they believe what they're saying? Or is it just all intentional and cunning from these people who really actually don't care about the chaos in the country? They don't care about the increase in crime with all of these, newcomers.
I care.
If you're listening to the Biden administration, you're not supposed to call them illegal immigrants. That's mean. You call them newcomers and you welcome them into the country, or else you're a xenophobe, okay? And so, you talk about this issue and the left simultaneously being like, that's not true, that's not happening. Okay, well, you're right. But here's why we're going to fix it. Okay. So last week, a video was released of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua taking over an apartment complex in, of all places, Aurora, Colorado. Yes, Aurora, Colorado. And I'm going to play some of that in case you missed it. So, you watch this clip and you're like, I have some questions. How did they get here if they are part of a Venezuelan gang that doesn't sound like they're very nice? Because they're a gang. How are they holding big guns? How did they get their hands on those? How did they get to Aurora? How did they get to the apartment complex? Like, how did any of this happen? Okay, so after this video came out, understandably, normal, sane people were extremely concerned because you look at that and you're like, well, it's an election year. It's 2024, and this is America in 2024. This is Kamala Harris's America. Coming soon to a city near you. If you don't think it can happen do you think that if it happens in Aurora, Colorado, that it can't happen to a city near you, to your city? You think it can't happen in, I've been reading stories about this happening in like rural Alabama. These people have to spread out. They're coming in such massive droves, like they have to move into the interior of the country where they wouldn't normally go because there's literally nowhere else to put them. So coming soon to a city near you in Kamala Harris's America, okay, if you like your third world country, you can keep your third world country.
We have got to build a wall.
As they do so often when they're up against a wall. Okay, there's literally no way they can see to combat their terrible policies and the awful, disastrous ramifications and the consequences of those terrible policies. They're backed against the wall. Similar to my toddler, they just, I don't know, like plug their ears and say, la la la, that's not happening. La la la, I can't hear you. La la la, I don't know what you're talking about. I wish that I were kidding, but that's like basically what you're hearing from people who want to call themselves adults. I'm not sure I would call them adults because this really isn't adult behavior from people who are grown enough to know better. Don't believe your lying eyes, America. What you saw, what you think you just saw, you really did not just see. It must have been a deep fake. Right? It must have been just a bunch of Republicans creating this video, all those right-wing nut jobs, crazy RWNJs just making stuff up, making up a video, taking it out of context, distributing it to all their friends. They're just such liars. Just such liars. Well, never mind that a Colorado law firm already confirmed that this Venezuelan gang began taking over these apartments in late 2023. This has been going on for a while now. Never mind that. Screw the law firm. Oh, they must be Trumpers, right? Since then, by the way, they've reportedly been involved in a string of crimes, this gang, including violent assaults, threats of murder, extortion, and child prostitution. Good guys. They're just here in search of a better life. That's what we keep hearing, right? Really good people. Upstanding citizens. Just the type of people you really want here. Right? So never mind that a Colorado law firm already said, yeah, this is happening, guys. Never mind that the mayor of Aurora, Colorado already confirmed that it's happening. La, la, la. I'm not listening. I can't hear you. That's not true. La, la, la. I don't hear you. It's incredible. Like, it's just such gaslighting behavior. What do you mean it's not happening? How many more people do? First of all, I watched it, okay? So I feel like I've established that, like, I know what I just watched because I'm not a complete idiot. But second of all, if you want to just say, like, oh, okay, well, maybe it was from a different place. Maybe that video wasn't from Aurora, Colorado. Maybe it was from I don't know, Venezuela. Well, it's not just Colorado, but you have all of these multiple places, multiple different outlets confirming, yes, it's happening. La la la, I can't hear you. Huh? I can't hear you. It's incredible. It's happening in Chicago now. Same deal. By the way, Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment complexes in Chicago, not going to happen, not going to turn out the same way as it does when you do that in Aurora, Colorado. I'm just going to leave that one there. Like, I think the culture in Chicago is a little different. There's already enough violence, gang violence going on in Chicago. So beware, Venezuelan gang members, when you are trying to take over the streets of Chicago. But aside from those particular places that we're seeing all of these reports popping up all the time now. In fact, I saw a report that said that there were like 11 different states where that this particular Venezuelan gang was already confirmed to have been in. But, you know, la la la, I'm not listening. So libs of TikTok over on the platform formerly known as Twitter posted a video that happened to be from late last year of a group of Venezuelans beating a man half to death in Dallas, Texas here. If you missed it, well, viewer discretion advised because it's graphic, but here's that.
Marico, está duro, marico. la pistola. Pero pistola para el aire, para más nadie.
Oh, but conspiracy theorists. You guys are, that's a conspiracy. You right-wing nut job conspiracy theorist. Xenophobe. You're only saying that because their skin is brown. You racist. Well, except it turns out the conspiracy theorists were right once again. Doesn't it always seem to turn out that way? You get called a conspiracy theorist these days and you're like, I think I'm on the right track here. Because after that video was tweeted out, Dallas Police Department actually confirmed in a statement, we have had gang activity in the North Dallas area linked to the Tren de Aragua gang from Venezuela. I'm sorry, is a Dallas Police Department the right-wing nut jobs that you guys are alluding to? Because trust me, I've had some run-ins with Dallas Police Department. Let me be the first to tell you, if you haven't already heard, they are not what you would call a conservative over there in Dallas. And even they are admitting, yes, that gang's activity is here in North Dallas. So I'm going to read you some of the details from TexasScorecard.com. So members of this gang have congregated with other Venezuelans in the northern part of Dallas, nicknamed Villa Dallas. Since the gang's arrival, the neighborhood has become riddled with illegal street racing, beatings, shootings, and extortion attempts. Some conservative estimates, and that doesn't mean conservative versus liberal, that just means some of the more reserved estimates have put the Venezuelan population in the Dallas-Fort Worth area at least 20,000, with many living in northern Dallas. You seeing a trend? Wherever they go, all of a sudden crime goes up.
I'm really gonna need a gun.
You think that's a coincidence? Import the third world, become the third world. Sorry for the inconvenient truth. These people overwhelmingly do not want to assimilate here. They don't give a flying fish
Only didn't use fish.
about your culture. They're not patriotic. They don't care about what it means to be an American. They're not here for, the American opportunity. I mean, they're here for the opportunity to take advantage of weak border laws. But these people don't want to assimilate. And I know, as much as all of the people in power right now want to talk about diversity as our strength, oh my God, where would we be without diversity? I'm just saying, I don't think that it really makes a nation strong to be importing third world gang members who really don't care about your laws, really don't care about your customs or your values or your morals, because they're gang members. It's really sad that even has to be said. Should seem completely obvious to anyone paying attention. It should really seem completely obvious to anyone who has been elected to be somehow in charge of our country. And yet, here I am still trying to explain it. So, at this point, you may be wondering to yourself, or not, you may already know, how did these people, how did these awful gang members, how did these heinous, evil people, how did they get into our country? Well, from Bill Malutian at Fox News, ICE confirms that all 4 of the known and suspected Tren de Aragua gang members arrested by police in Aurora, Colorado, in connection to a shooting and attempted murder in July are Venezuelan illegal aliens who were caught and released at the Texas border by the Biden administration. And apparently, one of them is a shot caller of the gang. He's known as Cookie. He was apprehended by Border Patrol in the Del Rio sector on October 2nd, 2022, released right into the United States interior with a notice to appear. I mean, it's on a piece of paper. And presumably, that piece of paper is signed. And we all know that is so binding for these people who just literally committed a crime while walking onto our soil. But now they'll take it seriously, right? How many times do we have to go through this same song and dance before this administration realizes this is a terrible, terrible policy? Oh, Or maybe that's part of the plan. Let's see. How about these other ones? There was another one apprehended by Border Patrol in Eagle Pass on August 22nd, 2023, released into the U.S. with a notice to appear, and again, paroled into the country. Let's see, there was another one. I mean, it's the same story with these people. They are coming in through Eagle Pass and Del Rio and McAllen and all of these border towns. They're coming in to Texas. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's Border Patrol is like, I don't know, shining a flashlight around them saying, do you super duper pinky promise to not only not commit any crimes while you're here, even though you just got done committing one, but do you also super duper pinky promise to appear when this paper says you need to appear? Let them try to get out of that one. That is binding. And these people are like, yeah, totally. Oh yeah, I agree. Please give me my paper. Goodbye. I'm never going to see you again. It's the same thing over and over again. Maybe trusting these people who are coming in and by very nature committing a crime is a bad freaking idea. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So Bill Malusian went on. He said, the overwhelming majority of the Venezuelan gang members ICE has given us info on first crossed illegally into Texas in 2022 and 2023, and then were released into the United States by the Biden administration. The same Biden administration, mind you, that has repeatedly sued the state of Texas for trying to secure its own border. This is treason.
It's treason, then.
This administration is engaging in treason. My opinion. Also my opinion, it should be the opinion of anyone who's paying attention. This is working against the American people. There is no other way to put it. You can't even, like, the levels of incompetency that this would have to be if it were just incompetency and not by design are like not even achievable. You wouldn't even be able to wake up and roll over and like put your socks on. Like that's the level of incompetency that you would have to have if you could just chalk it up to incompetency. But this isn't what this is. It is an incompetency. It's of course by design. But it cannot be overstated. Like the feds have completely abandoned us in Texas. You might say, okay, fine. I'm not for the feds anyway. I am for decentralization. Me too. So, okay, fine. We'll do it ourselves. Well, but then the feds say, not so fast. We don't want you securing the border. We'll thrive on the chaos that these Venezuelan gangs are going to bring. And so, no, we're going to fight you every step of the way, Texas. That's how little we care about you and your people. Oh, and when one of your family members dies at the hands of one of these gang members, you're not going to hear from us. That'll just make us look bad. Good riddance. Good luck to you. This is the administration that we're dealing with. And so to be so arrogant about this treasonous behavior that you're engaging in, that you insinuate that we're like kooks and conspiracy theorists and nut jobs for literally responding to video evidence of gang activity, of foreign gang activity, is like 1984 level propaganda. Every time I turn on the TV, every time I read about what's going on in this country, I am like, whoa, we're there. The book 1984, we are freaking there. Does it sound familiar? George Orwell in 1984, the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. Because that's the only way that you can make sense of anything that's going on around you right now. You have to reject what you're watching. You have to reject the videos that you've just seen before your very eyes. You have to reject what you heard people say. Otherwise, none of what they're doing makes sense, because it doesn't. So this is where we're at. It's a harsh reality, but it's the reality that we face. And this is going to be our reality in this country until everyone decides that we deserve different. And I hope that we decide that in November, because Texas will not be able to sustain itself. No state would be able to sustain itself with this invasion that's happening. The country won't be able to sustain itself if we don't have someone willing to come in here and course correct this disastrous policy. Look, again, sorry if this is mean. Sorry if it doesn't sound nice and warm and fuzzy, but we need someone in here who's going to come in and just mass deport all of the illegals that have come in the last 4 years. It's the only way. Sorry if it hurts your feelings. Sorry if you were given a notice to appear in the year 2032, at which point you were going to use the excuse, well, now I've created a life for myself and a family for myself, so can I please stay? And then a liberal judge would tell you yes. No. We have to have someone come in and course correct. Unless you're watching those videos of the Venezuelan gangs beating people's heads in, taking over apartment complexes, and you're like, yeah, that's what I want for my country. Because if that's the case, you know exactly who to vote for. You have it right now. But if you're looking at that and you're saying, I don't want this to be my country. I don't want this to be my state. I don't want this to be the new normal. I don't want this. Then, for the love of all that is holy, show up in November. We have to, because as hardworking Americans, we simply deserve better. So I hope that you guys have a great week, and just don't let the libs gaslight you, okay? Believe your eyes and believe your ears, because at the end of the day, that's what you have to rely on, and they're hoping that they can convince you to just participate in the chaos. Don't do it. Have a great week. We'll see you next time on Come and Take It.